Hello there and welcome to my YouTube channel, Julie McNeil Crafts. So happy World Card Making Day. We've had a few videos going up on the channel preparing us for World Card Making Day, but I couldn't let the actual day pass without doing a little bit of card making on it, can I? That just feels like it would defeat the purpose. So I have just grabbed some pre-made cards. These were the ones that were on the top. It's not that I particularly fancy doing long slim cards, but it was what was on the top of the deck. And I have to say that my bit box is distressing me. I do not like my bit box getting overfull, and I've had to go into a second bag, and I do not believe in this because the whole point of having the bit box is to ensure that it's on your desk, gets used. I don't like to have a big box because I do just want to use it. I don't want it to become a problem. I hate it when the scraps get on top of me like this and I'm feeling it's just really doing my head in. So I am going to make 4 cards using just the stuff from my bit box today. What I will do is I'm just going to go off camera and I'm going to maybe separate it into maybe some characters, some florals and stuff like that, so it's easier to see what we've got. And then let's pop a few cards together. I apologise for the fact that the desk looks incredibly cluttered. I have not even fully emptied. I've not even fully emptied what's going on in the bit box. That's not even occurred. So yeah, but I was thinking we've already got way more on the desk than what we're going to need to make 4 cards. So let's just start the process, and yeah, we will rectify the rest of that when we come to it. So I'm just going to, got some bigger bits of paper and things, and I'm just going to stick some of these down just as a starter point because we can, quite frankly. Right, I'm going to stick those 2 down and try and use up some of this. As I said, it's just I think I used to always save every single little scrap, and I had this massive bag of scraps, and I was like, right, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. And like I spent ages where all I did was craft with the scraps, and it's like no matter how much I crafted with it, it just never ever got to the bottom of it. And I think I spent a day chopping pieces down into usable pieces and die cutting other bits and all of this, and I still couldn't get to the bottom of it. I made packs up of craft, like, so with all the squares that I'd cut and then the die cut pieces, I made up little craft packs for all of my friends' children, because at the time I didn't, this was pre-Kezia days, and then I think I donated a whole load to the school, and in the end I just got to the stage where I was like, I can't actually do this anymore, and I just chucked it because it was just getting to me. And so then that's when the bit box was born. I put little scraps in my bit box, and it sits on my desk. So sometimes when you're just needing a little element to finish off a card, and it saves you then having to sort of go stamp and colour and a little heart or something like that, because that's the finishing touch. It's just there and you just do it. And so that's why the bit box was born, and also why I have, because people say, I think you need a bigger bit box. I hate it when it gets on top of me, I really do, because to me the bit box was there to sort of prevent things getting on top of me like that. So yeah, when it gets to the point of unbearable, I just have to have a big crafty session. Now the thing is, because we've gone for the vertical, I'm not sure. Let's go for, maybe to not do a character on this occasion. Let's see what we can do with some florals. Maybe. I've got this mushroom set here. Yep, let's just get a load of these flowers on. I think that could be fun. So yeah, I get to the stage of like, right, that's it. And I think I used to keep it quite under control, but because every time I go to TV Land, I have to sort of have a box of, like, I've got all my stuff that I make, and I've kind of learnt as I go that if I don't fully make the card, I sort of place it all together and then have a pre-made one. It keeps my bit box nice and full, which saves on the amount of work that I need to do to prep a show. And I like that. But it does it. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. It's because I'm trying to, oh, I quite like that. So we could, let's have, I like her with those colours, but maybe I just need to, I'm going to grab a separate bit of card so I can create a mat and layer for that little bit of paper. Yeah, so what I was trying to say was, basically the amount of prep that I have and the amount of stuff that I need to have cut out and ready to go for the makes, and also just to make sure that I've got enough extra so that if items sell out and I have to sort of make a demo of the calf, that I've got stuff there, just means that the amount of stuff that I've got is quite big. And then, see, I would quite like to have tucked that under there. And then quite often I'm coming home and going straight on to the next launch. So I don't have time to sit down, and so yeah, it has got to the stage where I'm just like, I cannot cope with my bit box anymore. I really can't. So, and that's the thing, if something bothers you, then do something about it. So today I'm going to spend a bit of time crafting, and I'm going to use my bit box. So we're going to be doing this today, and there's so much. I said I barely even touched the surface, and look at all the stuff I've managed to pull out. So yeah, I'm going to pop her on there. Should we pop her up? Why not? Let's do that. I think once I've done this, I will maybe do some journaling as well, but that'll come on the channel at a later date. But while I'm sat in my craft room, I was trying to do Pinterest school, as I call it. I'm doing a course on social media, so working on my Pinterest and other social media. So I was doing a bit of that, but then all the technical side of it just got to me. I was just like, "Argh!" So yeah, I gave up on that. So now I'm crafting. It's still work. I love the fact that this is still my work. That I can sit there and think, oh, do you know what? I need to craft. But do you know what? I was watching. What was it? I was watching a program. What's it called? Something about it's like a house where they come in and declutter your house. Like if you get rid of 50% of your stuff, then they come in and decorate your house. That sort of idea. So I was watching that, and then the woman was saying, like, you know, she was a crafter. she had to sort of sort out her craft clutter. It just always makes me laugh when there's ones on that, because it's like, oh, fellow, I understand. Maybe I should just, I'm going to pop another one so that we've got a bit. Actually, what I'll do is if I cut that round the curve there, we're not going to use the buttons of the previous layer. Yeah, anyway, she was saying, you know, if it brings you joy, sometimes we forget, and so that's the thing, I can do it and think, haha, it's still my work, so I don't feel guilty. But we should never feel guilty anyway about doing stuff that we enjoy. Okay, so we'll add that in there. So we've got 2 layers, but that's all good. Quite happy. The more I use, the more I empty the dreaded bit box. Yes, the bit box has come from being my best friend to I can't cope with it anymore. So when it gets to that, it's time to take action. That's pretty good. Don't think we need much more, but we will, because you know the whole point of this is to rectify the situation. So let's see. Add, maybe we've got one more flower. Trying to find another hand coloured one. There's probably plenty. Yeah, I could do that. And then, should we have a cloud? Life always needs a cloud. Yeah, and what I'll do is I'll chop. And this is quite often when I chop into a flower and stuff, if you watch me create things, I very often will use that tiny little, because I can't throw it away, so don't get me wrong, I would never want to sit there and go, oh, I've too much in my bit box, I'm just going to throw it. I can't do that either. So I just have to sort of get on with it and deal with it. Oh look, completely dotty, because she looks a completely dotty sort of character. So we could just tuck that under there, or maybe we could, yeah, under there. I would have liked to have turned that into a bit of a banner, but it's not quite got the right enough room to cut into it. I'm just going to tuck it under that paper. There we go. So pop that in there. I'm hoping you can I'm hoping that all the clutter is not too distracting. Should I maybe zoom in a bit more so you're just seeing the card and not the clutter? So this is when a live would be quite good, because you could go, yes, no, I think I might just do that once I finish this card. So, are you going to be making something for World Card Making Day? And who are you going to make for? I'm going to tuck my cloud under my flower, just to make it a tiny bit more interesting. There we go. And then I'm going to grab my pen that I use for doodling, and we will get some doodling going on. Sort of zooming in a bit more, but because it's a tall card, there's yeah, it's not much. I can't actually zoom much more in without you not seeing the full project. I'm going to do that, and then I'll do a little. There we go, a little full cross stitch. I like those. It sort of blends into the card for me. I quite like that. Sort of makes it look like it belongs. Right, I'm going to do a little border as well, and then I think we can call that one done. Okay. Losing the ability to talk now. I'm having a little look at the time. I've got about an hour till we have to pick up our ladyship from school. So she's wanting to do a resin making today. She's getting so into her craft. I mean, she's always enjoyed it, but now she wants her own craft space and everything. So she's got like her own desk in her room and stuff like that. But resin making, that's what she wants to do. So that's card one. Right, I'm going to do it this way this time, because I think it sort of suits the characters a bit better. Now, do I have any more bigger paper that's needing used? I've got this one, so I have actually sort of stamped on that, but that's fine. It's just the more I can shove on here, the more I can claim it as having been used. Ooh, that's cool, I quite like that. Then we've got this, which if I was to cut in half, this is sort of like, I can't work out which of these, one of these scissors really needs it sharpened. It's that here. I'm going to put that further away from me. My favourite cutting scissors are through in the living room. That's because I've been doing lots of fussy cutting for the next range to come out. But, ooh, that looks quite good. Right, and then I'm going to, I don't have a full curve there, so let's just invent one. I'll invent a new one. There we go. And then we can have that in there, like so. I kind of like that. That's quite cool. I don't think that's going to need a huge amount more than that. It's nice. I don't normally work with this size of card, so it's very completely different. It's kind of challenging me a little bit. I normally sort of go for I can't even think of the size. It's like a 10 by 8, but I cut it in half, so I'm not quite sure what that would be, 4 by 8 or something. Or square. I don't tend to do DL cards very often, so it's very different, but I like. Right, pop that down there. So there was a little bit, I can still see a bit of stamping there, but I'm just going to make sure that that little bit's covered and we're all good. We're just neaten that up and work out what we're going to do with this one. Just a quick neaten, doesn't need a huge amount. Okay, so I'm another rummage through the bit box and yeah, more's come out. I'm not sure how overly helpful that's going to be, but this girl sort of matches, so I'm happier. I don't know, I wasn't getting a direction that I was happy with, but I think she goes quite nicely just there. And I'm just going to, yeah, do what I can to see what happens. Oh dear, I get a moon and a cloud going on because why not? Really, that's the only thing. It's like, why not? And we all know I have an obsession with clouds, so there we go. So I'll stick that down and then the bit that's chopped off can go onto the other side. Get that down, like so. I quite like the moon sort of being in amongst clouds, that it's partially covered. That just appeals to me for some reason. Not overly sure why, but it does. So what I'll do is I'll get that, and then, so what I was saying earlier about I tend to immediately use, you know, because I have to use every last bit. So rather than putting little bits like this in my bit box, I will literally use it on the same card. So we can now bring the cloud down here as well. And just sort of evens out. Very strange, the card blank's not very even. This was a pre-bought one, so thankfully it's nothing. Oh, don't like that there. Yeah, I'll break my own rules there. So I don't know, the card blank's not quite even, so I'm just going to cut along so that the two sides match, because that will bother me. So I'll get that sorted. There we go. And this will need a little bit of grounding. I don't really know what's going on with this. Oh, I think actually just drawing the doodling is going to ground her. Don't really know what this card's about. It's very random, but hopefully it works. We'll see what we can do. Ah, it's fine. It's bright, it's colourful, it's wacky and random. Just about sums me up. It's amazing the difference creating a border makes. It just helps the eye to look into the project and see what you've done. That's always a really good trick to do. I'm just trying to think that sentiment might be a little bit big for it. Yeah, I don't know that that needs a sentiment. I think I'm just going to leave that one as is. It's a bit random. I might find the perfect sentiment as we're crafting. Who knows? Right. Do it that way so I don't end up having to straighten out the card. Let's get some more of these wiggly squigglies going on, because it's just a great way of using the map. And then I'll no doubt end up cutting more, because I'll be needing to make something that I'll be like, oh, it'd be great if I had those squiggles down the edge. I'm like, oh no, I've used them all up. Just plonked glue in the middle of my page there. Right, so get those down there like so. It's looking awesome. Okay, and I've got a whole load of flowers here. So I was thinking we'll make a card up where we just I'm just not even, do you know what, I'm not even going to think and overthink. I think that's what happened with the last one. I started overthinking. And sometimes it's just not a good idea. You just need to go with it. Just go, just do. Makes life much easier. There we go, that works under there. Yeah, I'm liking that. But I now feel we need one of those roses. Do we have another one? Yes, we do. That's fortuitous. There's another one of these down here just to tie it together a little bit better so that it doesn't look as not out of place, but so we've got one type of flower up there and then a different type of flower at the bottom. So it's trying to avoid that so that it looks a bit better. Issues here. Not particularly happy with how it is down here, but we will deal with that. As I said, I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to do that, and then let's see what we can do to rectify it so I feel a little bit better. Take these bits off. Right. I just need the one leaf. I think I'd quite like two, but oh, now I'm overthinking, and what I just said we should not do. Do you know what I'm going to do? Is I'm just going to pull that, I think. Sorry, I feel like I'm losing the ability to talk. I'm hoping this is not going to be the most awful video to watch. The other thing we could do is bring one of these up here as well. Oh yeah, I'll pop that there. Right. It's just trying to make the two edges marry so they look like they were deliberate, as opposed to sticking a random bunch of stuff down, which is essentially what we've done. But we never want it to look like that. I quite like that. And then we could maybe just have something like that. Yeah, I'm just going to keep that really simple. Let's just have the flowers. It's very unusual that I make things without a character. It's like, I think I get so into the way of always doing that that I kind of forget you don't actually need it. There we go. What I will do is maybe just pop a couple of splatters on this. As you can see, this is like 3 cards down, and I don't think we have put a dent into the bit box, unfortunately. Right, I'm just going to grab this because I'm sure we've got colours that are just lying on the edge that will work absolutely fine. I'm just going to pick up some of these pinky tones, reactivate those. A little bit of paint splatter there just to bring that together. And then I will edge it in black and grab a slurp of my tea. And then we're all good. So these papers have been taken out of the Paint It Funky paper kit. I've just got a bit of unevenness down here that needs rectified. And so Paint It Funky and Blooming Bright are the two paper pads that I've ended up putting a bit of a green thumbprint just there, which is unfortunate. But what I maybe could do is I could just slip that under. So this is the thing, there's no such things as mistakes in art, just creative opportunities. I want that down far enough that the leaf goes behind the, I have to rip that up a bit, but the leaf goes behind the banner so that we don't see that the leaf is square. There we go. Sorted. I'll just have to take, there's a little bit of glue that's where it shouldn't be, but if I let that dry and then I can get that with the adhesive remover, and it'll be good as new. I'll glue on that now. There we go. And of course I was working on it while it was wet, so let's just do that, and I will add some more splatter. There you go, just gonna keep going and rectifying all the mistakes that I decide to keep making. Looking like such an amateur today. One of those days, I think. Come out of my comfort zone a little bit. There we go. Oh, good. All sorted. Right, that's card number 3. Let's get ready for card number 4. Okay, so we're on the 4th card. I still seem to have masses of stuff on my desk. So yeah, that plan for, you know, getting rid of some of the stuff on my desk has not quite gone to plan, but that's okay. We'll just have to keep crafting till it does. So I've run out of wiggles, so we're on to something different now. So these are some circle things that I've cut out, and I'm going to use those instead. And again, I'm trying my best not to overthink on this one. Oops. I will be so glad when this nail grows back a little bit, I tell you. So again, that's me doing that thing. I've just cut off that little bit of circle, so let's just use it. There, that is actually the edge of the card. I've done that thing again where it's got a weird fold to it. I didn't double check before I started sticking down, so I'm just going to cut up so that it matches. The two edges of the card at least match. That will bother me somewhat. There we go. Right. Ooh, that's cool. Right. What else have we got? Nope. Okay. I can leave that as is. Right, what characters have we got? Oh, she quite works on the purple, doesn't she? I quite like that. Maybe put her a little bit higher, and then we'll get her something to stand on. So this is Painting Polly. Very unusual that I colour in purples, so I think she's been sat in the bit box for ages because I never quite have something to go with her. Got some blue. You're out of this world. Let's go for that. Stick it that side. Oh, we're getting there. Random. This is what I love about it. See, I'm getting into the groove now, just as we're getting to the end of the video. I'm now getting into the groove. This is what I love about Bitbox, is that you just have utter randomness, and somehow it works. It just works. We could have some dangles if we have. There's bound to be another heart here. I'm sure as I was emptying all of that stuff out that I saw more than one heart. The two are red. Yeah, the yellow works. Right, I'm going to take the bumblebee and I'm going to put those down. Okay. This is completely random, but it's fun. I like it. Should we have some clouds as well? I love the way that I just feel everything needs a cloud. It just does though. It just does. Don't ask me why, but it just does. Does that look better? Oh, I don't know. Maybe just some splashes. Right, let's edge. Let's edge this. There we go. Right. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I think probably what we'll do is we'll do some splashes, which will suit her because I can imagine her with paint splatters all over her. I think she would like it. There we go. Right, where's my little paint pot gone? So what I will do is I will clear the desk because I don't think we can see anything in amongst this nest, quite frankly. So we will clear the desk and then we will come back and look at the, just mixing a bit of that blue and a bit of that pink together so that we get more of a purple. There we go. And then we can add a few little splitter splatters over that white space. And that just sort of fills the need for me to have to stick something else on. Okay, there we go. Right, so I will clear the desk so that we can see these 4 cards without all the clutterage going on. Actually, before I do that, I've just realised I need to edge this in black, even though we've done the doodle, because we've got that pattern paper and it's just coming off the edge with nothing to frame it and pull the eye in. It's not looking quite right, so I'm just going to try and do this without sticking my finger in the wet watercolour splashes. Yep, that makes such a difference. I know it's weird, but it really does make such a difference. Okay, so that's the 4th card. I will be back in a moment. So that is the 4 cards all together without the clutter around. So I hope you have enjoyed playing with me today. Sorry I struggled for a few bits of moments as I was wrestling with my bit box, but I think it's good to be able to see the creative process, including the frustrations. But I'm happy with the 4 cards, so happy World Card Making Day, everybody. Do let me know who you're making and sending cards to. That would be fun to know. And are you making cards for World Card Making Day? If you have enjoyed it here, please do consider liking and subscribing, and I will be back with some more crafty goodness very soon. Okay, take care then, and goodbye.